In the deep shadows of Australia's sandstone cliffs and caves, you can find the oldest picture gallery in the world. Forget the Louvre, forget Rome. These walls hold the brushstrokes of humanity's earliest artists. This is Aboriginal rock art, some of it more than 40,000 years old, and it tells a story of survival, spirit, and identity. Picture yourself standing in Kakadu National Park in the Northern Territory. Before you, a cliff face glows with ochre-red figures. Kangaroos mid-leap, hunters with spears, fish swimming across stone. These are not random doodles. They are history books carved into rock. Each image is a record of food sources, of ceremonies, of spiritual beings. Aboriginal people didn't need libraries. The land itself was a library. One of the most striking forms of rock art is called X-ray style. These paintings show animals not just from the outside, but with their bones and organs carefully drawn. Why? Because they were teaching tools. They showed young hunters where to strike a fish or which parts of an animal were safe to eat. In this way, rock art was as much science as it was art. Some paintings are unimaginably old. Scientists have dated them to at least 40,000 years ago, older than Stonehenge, older than the pyramids, older even than Europe's famous cave paintings in France and Spain. This makes Aboriginal rock art the longest continuous artistic tradition in human history. Imagine generations upon generations adding new layers to the same canvas until a single rock shelter contains thousands of years of history stacked on top of each other. But rock art wasn't just practical, it was spiritual. Many images depict Dreamtime beings, the ancestors who created the land. One recurring figure is the Mimi spirit, tall and thin beings said to have taught Aboriginal people how to paint. According to legend, Mimi spirits lived inside the rocks and only came out at night. By painting them, Aboriginal people honored their teachers and kept the dreaming alive. These artworks also record encounters with the outside world. In some galleries, you can see paintings of European ships drawn hundreds of years ago when explorers first arrived on Australian shores. In others, there are figures of rifles, horses, and even cars. This shows how Aboriginal artists continued their tradition into modern times, documenting the dramatic changes brought by colonization. What's remarkable is that these paintings were not made for tourists or museums. They were created as part of ceremony and storytelling, meant to teach and connect communities. Even today, many Aboriginal groups return to these rock shelters to repaint old figures, refreshing the images so that their power continues. In this way, the art is not frozen in the past. It is a living, breathing culture. Conserving this heritage is a challenge. Weather, mining, and even vandalism threaten these priceless works, but efforts are underway to protect them. In Kakadu and Arnhem Land, traditional custodians work alongside scientists to preserve and study the galleries. Modern technology like 3D scanning helps record the images before they fade. Yet for Aboriginal people, preservation isn't just about protecting pretty pictures, it's about safeguarding their ancestors' voices. Think about it. When you stand in front of a 20,000-year-old kangaroo painting, you are looking directly at the handprint of someone who lived in a world utterly different from ours, yet who still felt the urge to leave a mark, to tell a story, to connect across time. That is profoundly human. Aboriginal rock art is more than ancient graffiti. It is the oldest classroom, the oldest Bible, the oldest diary. It's art that taught survival, carried law, and expressed spirit. And it reminds us of one powerful truth, that creativity has always been at the heart of being human. Long before skyscrapers, long before written language, we painted on stone. And in Australia, those paintings are still here, whispering across 40 millennia.